Hi babies, Granny Karen here. Today I'm going to read you a book that was actually my book when I was a little girl. So we're not going to discuss how old this book is, but I hope you enjoy it. It's called The Old Man and the Turnip. Once there was a poor old farmer who lived in a little village in the mountains. All summer he worked in his garden to raise enough vegetables for the long winter. So busy was he from morn till night that his good wife scarcely ever saw him. At length the time came of year for the harvest to be gathered. The mayor of the village called all the farmers together and offered a handsome award for the largest turnip to be harvested. The award was to be the most desirable black spotted cow. Now the old farmer had no cow, and he said to himself, with the cow we would have milk and cream and butter, and we would have cheese to offer all who passed our way. What a fine thing that would be! So saying and thinking how elegant the black-spotted cow would look in his barn, he trudged home and fell to work harder than ever. Before long, all but the last row of turnips had been laid away for the winter. But the full storehouse gave the farmer no joy, for his mind was full of the beautiful black-spotted cow, and his turnips were of no great size. Alas, said he, there is nothing here to win an award. Hardly had the words left his mouth when a strange thing happened. He came upon a turnip which would not move with his pulling. Taking a better hold, he pulled again. He pulled and pulled, but still the turnip would not move from the ground. In great excitement, he made his way across the fields to the little stream where his wife was scouring the pans. Good woman, he shouted, come and help me. I have found a turnip so large I cannot pull it from the ground single-handed. So the farmer's wife dropped her pots and pans and hurried after the farmer. Together they pulled and tugged and tugged and pulled, but the turnip would not come up. At length she said, it is plain to be seen that this turnip is too much for two such old people. I will run and fetch our grandson. He is young and strong. So she stretched down the lane until she saw the grandson bringing home the geese. Come quickly, she shouted. We have found a remarkable turnip and cannot pull it up without your help. Leaving the geese to get home by themselves, the grandson hurried to the place where the turnip grew. Then the farmer grasped the turnip. The farmer's wife held fast to the farmer, and the grandson held fast to the farmer's wife. All three pulled and tugged, and they tugged and pulled. Finally, the old woman said, alas, this turnip is too strong for three. Run and fetch our granddaughter. So the grandson ran to summon the granddaughter and found her watching the sheep and knitting. Leave the sheep and come at once, shouted the grandson. There is a big turnip. Dropping her knitting in haste, she flew to the field where the turnip grew. Again the farmer took hold of the turnip. The farmer's wife took hold of the farmer. The grandson took hold of the farmer's wife, and the granddaughter took hold of the grandson. Together they pulled and tugged and tugged and pulled, but still the stubborn turnip remained in the ground. Enough of this, said the farmer's wife. We must have more help. Run and fetch our neighbor. So the granddaughter ran to the next farm and brought the neighbor, who was glad to be of help. Surely with 5 pulling the turnip must come up, said the farmer's wife. But when the farmer, the farmer's wife, the grandson, the granddaughter, and the neighbor had pulled and tugged in vain, the good neighbor said, what is needed here is a strong man. And off she went to call the milkman. And soon she met him coming down the road from milking. What big news, she exclaimed. The farmer has found a turnip so large that 5 people cannot pull it. Come and help us, for there is none so strong as you in the whole village. Pleased with this flattery, the milkman left his pails of milk in the road and followed the neighbor. We shall have this turnip up in a trice, said the milkman with great confidence. But though he lent all his strength to the pulling, it was of no use. The turnip would not move. This is a matter for the whole neighborhood, said the milkman, and he ran to call the others to their aid. Now the first he met along the road was the little maid returning from her marketing. The little maid ran to call her brother and the village dandy. The village dandy dropped his fine red coat and hastened to tell his sweetheart, who ran to summon the whistling boy, who whistled to his dog. And the dog told the cat, and the cat told the mouse. And soon the whole neighborhood had gathered in the old farmer's turnip field. How fortunate we are to have such good friends, exclaimed the farmer's wife. And they all set to with a will, forming a long line and each holding fast to the next. They gave a great shout and a great pull. With that, the earth opened, and up came the mighty turnip with such force that they all fell backwards. So excited was the old farmer at seeing its size that he could find no words to express his thanks to them. On the day of the awarding, the turnips were brought from miles around to where the mayor waited in the marketplace. There were pink turnips and white turnips, red ones and yellow, fat and thin. But though more wonderful turnips had never been seen, the old farmer's turnip was the largest of them all. Thus it came about that the happy farmer became the owner of the beautiful black spotted cow. There was much merrymaking and celebration in the village, and none were merrier than the farmer, the farmer's wife, the grandson, the granddaughter, the neighbor, the milkman, the little maid, the brother, the village dandy, the sweetheart, and the whistling boy, to say nothing of the dog and the cat and the mouse. And never during the long winter did the farmer's family or his good neighbors want for food. There was plenty of good white milk, and thick heavy cream, and fresh yellow butter, and fine rich cheese, and turnip enough for all. The end. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, this is Granny Karen. Love you bunches.